Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Today we join the world in observing World Suicide Prevention Day under the theme, Changing the Narrative on Suicide. Start the conversation. Together we'll look at how open dialogue, awareness and support can help save lives. We have more next. Please stay tuned.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, September 10, 2025. The country continues to maintain its decline in all major categories of crime, with the latest figures from the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF showing a 15.7% drop. This is for the period January 1 to September 6 this year, when compared to the same period in 2024. The biggest decline is for murders, with a reduction of 42% or 340 fewer people killed. Shooting is down by 34.1% or 249 less incidents. Rape followed with a 26.3% decline, while robbery recorded a downward trend of 12.6%. Still on crime, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is encouraging individuals and business operators to report incidents of extortion. Detective Sergeant Grace Fraser Lawrence says the impact runs in the billions of dollars annually, and measures are in place to protect persons who make reports.
I know of the fear factor and I know that you are intimidated. However, the police, when you actually work with the police, when you actually report the crime to us and we start to do our investigation, we can honestly sit here and tell you that things will happen. Persons will be prosecuted. We have the judiciary system that we work well with, and we will ensure that things are done.
Among the manifestations of extortion outlined by Detective Fraser Lawrence are person-to-person contact, offering protection for money, the issuing of letters with demands and threats, phone calls and text messages. But the police say technology and intelligence have been aiding with the unearthing of suspects and evidence, as well as providing the capacity to see what's happening in those spaces. Detective Fraser Lawrence says awareness and community involvement is key to breaking the back of this crime.
Awareness is very important. It's very foundational. The more informed that a society is, the less vulnerable they are. They become more empowered to actually resist, to report criminal activities. And it also decreases the fear factor that is plaguing our society at this time. So when a society becomes aware of what to do, what not to do, it helps us so much in solving this plague of kidnapping and extortion.
Detective Fraser Lawrence was speaking on the JCF's Force for Good podcast. Meanwhile, the JCF is also imploring persons to take legal public passenger vehicles that are identifiable by red license plate. This is to avoid the possibility of being taken against their will by persons offering the service illegally. The warning was made by Detective Inspector Paulette Winter Crossfield, Station Manager for the National Strategic Anti-Gang Division.
There are taxis or persons, motorists, operating motor vehicles pretending to be taxis, and then persons who are so unsuspected, not knowing that it's not taxi, enter the vehicle and then they are held at gunpoint in the vehicle and taken to ATM, forced to give their banking information for the criminals to withdraw monies.
Detective Inspector Winter Crossfield says while the prevalence of this activity rises and falls over time, it is important for persons not to drop their guard. She further cautions that sexual offences are also committed against women and girls by illegal operators of public passenger vehicles.
So we advise that you take the regularized vehicles, transportation. We also advise that you take photographs of the vehicle and the license plate, and if it's possible, take photograph of a driver and send it on to a trusted relative or friend.
In other news, the Ministry of Education has announced that investigations and interventions will be carried out to ensure children are not denied access to school as the new academic year gets underway. The move follows reports of students being locked out of schools on the first day of classes due to violation of grooming standards and other rules. Portfolio Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon tells JIS News that no child should be denied entry to school or the opportunity to learn. She is urging school administrators to find respectful solutions that do not involve turning students away.
All children deserve access to a safe and inclusive education. In situations where there may be concerns, including those related to grooming standards and other disciplinary matters, we believe that these matters must be handled respectfully and collaboratively, and we're going to have to send the right signal to our children that we respect them, we care for them, but at the same time that we have rules that need to be followed.
Dr. Morris-Dixon adds that she is encouraged by the strong start to the school year, noting the enthusiasm of students and parents, particularly with the rollout of the government's new rural school bus service. And finally, the political ombudsman has given September 17 as the deadline for removal of all mounted political campaign materials across the island. In a release on Tuesday, the office reminded all political parties, candidates, campaign managers, agents, and supporters of the legal requirement for the removal within 14 days of the election. While commending stakeholders on their active participation in the democratic process, the political ombudsman is urging full compliance with the law to restore public and private spaces across Jamaica. Members of the public are also being encouraged to assist by reporting campaign materials left in place after September 17. Reports may be submitted by calling 876-754-5845 or via the online complaints portal at ecj.com.jm. Reports can also be made in person at the office of the Political Ombudsman at 46 Duke Street, Kingston, or by email to ecjombudsman@eoj.com.jm. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
Are you a female 16 years of age or older, ready to break into the world of cybersecurity? Join the She Secures Jamaica 2025 Cybersecurity Competition happening September 12 to 14. Test your skills in AI, web hacking, cryptography, and more. Registration now open. Visit shesecures-jamaica.hackrocks.com for more details. She Secures Jamaica, because cybersecurity needs you. Brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and the Organization of American States.
One may think that if someone speaks about taking their life, there's nothing you can do to help them. But that's not true. Watch as we explore 5 common misconceptions about suicide and the truth behind them.
Anyone who talks about suicide will not actually go through with it.
Some of them talking about it want to get help, but as they talk about it, they can move from talking to planning to executing the plan. So they must be taken seriously.
Persons will tell you that it is not necessary that they want to die by suicide, but they don't see themselves having a way out. And so that is why it is important to come alongside them and help them to find a solution.
Anyone who tries to kill themselves must mad.
A person who attempts to kill himself or herself should not be labeled as mad. There's a stigma associated with suicide in this nation that prevents people from getting help. We look down on people with mental health, and that's something that needs to change.
It is said that about 60% of our persons, or even more than that, have mental health challenges of one extent or the other. Are they crazy? No, they are having a difficulty, they're having some struggles with coping, and they need help to cope. So that is what needs to be addressed, and we need to debunk stigma, because that is why people will not try to get help.
If someone is determined to kill themselves, nothing is going to stop them.
Many times, persons who are at that place of feeling that I have to complete suicide, it is because they feel rotten on the inside or they feel hopeless. If one can come alongside them and help them to see that there is hope, they will change their minds.
And many of them have moved on to being able to manage their emotions, their hurts, and to get help. And some of them are even in the business of helping others. And we celebrate that.
People who commit suicide are people who are unwilling to seek help.
Many times the cries are there. Many times they are shouting out for help, but we ignore them. I want to ask you, the next time you ask somebody, how are you doing? Stop and listen so that you can hear what's going on in their lives. You could just hear the cry for help.
You can reason with them and help them to understand that what you're going through, you may be in the middle of your story and you can get help.
Talking about suicide may give someone the idea to do it.
We want to handle talking about suicide carefully. We should not romanticize it. We need to talk about it appropriately. And I say to us, never ever talk about suicide without directing the person to where they can get help.
The Ministry of Health has a helpline, and that is 888 New Life. That is 888-639-5433. And also Choose Life International offers help. That is 876-920-7924. And there are many other counseling agencies where people can get help.
We talk about the causes, we provide reasons for help, and we have to manage that carefully.
If we talk about suicide and talk about how persons can be helped and how they can find hope, then persons are likely to reach out for the help and the hope. And that kind of conversation will not make them suicidal.
Say goodbye to the paper trail. Your motor vehicle registration certificate has gone fully digital. No more stickers, no more paper clutter, just one thing you'll need: a valid email address. It's faster, it's safer, it's smarter.
Alpha Primary School is embracing STEAM education, giving students hands-on experiences that spark creativity and problem solving. This next feature highlights how science, technology, engineering, the arts and mathematics are shaping young minds for the future. Take a look.
Let's go full steam ahead.
If you have the opportunity to get a STEM education, then you should, regardless of the field or the career choice. So even if you want to be a lawyer, the skills are transferable. So you still need to be a problem solver. You still need to be able to think critically. Employers are looking for graduates with STEM skills, with these 21st century skills.
Teaching
future generations to think logically, critically, and focused on problem solving, all while grasping 21st century skills, is a challenge of a lifetime.
And the right policy to be put in place is to make sure that we are building schools that are going to be empowering our young people with science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
And of course, arts.
Because we believe that that is a space that we own and we can exploit for our economic and social development.
The new STEAM Academy being built at Dumby Holden in Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine, is not where it ends. STEAM is being infused in all aspects of public education, with the method modified to suit each environment. At the Alpha Primary School, a partnership with the private institution, STEM Builders Learning Hub, is expanding the aptitude and skills of children as young as age 6.
Little Einstein's program started in 2022, and it is out of the need to actually reach the students where they are at their different levels, and also to ensure that we start early. So this program primarily is for early childhood education institutions and for primary schools. So the program actually takes place once a week or twice, depending on the need. And we actually take the students through hands-on learning by them creating different things like robots, flashlights. So they're learning the theory, but they're also creating. Hi, I'm Cavell Hilton, CEO and founder of STEM Builders Learning Hub. We connect students to quality science, technology, engineering, and mathematics tutors, as well as resources, including our STEM activity box or science kits. STEM Builders Learning Hub started because we recognize the need to provide quality resources for students.
We have done helium balloons, an explosion, a flashlight, a glow-in-the-dark slime, and now we are building an air car.
One of the major benefits of enrolling children in STEAM education is the fact that it awards them the skills associated with the 4 C's of what is needed to excel in this 21st century: critical thinking, communication, creativity, and collaboration.
STEAM education is very inclusive because it encourages students to do hands-on activities, and the kind of question that students are asked to answer, they're not given the answer, so they would need to think about it. It allows them to experiment if they are wrong. It also gives them the time to go back, think about what they did wrong and how they are able to correct it.
As it relates to artificial intelligence, AI, I'm optimistic about the future as it relates to it. And knowing everything, you have negative and positive. But I think the approach is for us not to fear the technology because it's here whether we like it or not. And so my approach is to figure out how we can use it in our classroom in a safe way, and also for us to be able to not just be consumers of this technology, but that we try to also create things that will represent our perspective and our point of view from this side of the world, from a female, from a Black person, from a Caribbean person.
The goal of STEAM education is to foster the true innovation that comes with combining the mind of a scientist or technologist with that of an artist or designer and letting it work together for the greater good. So, how prepared are you in getting your child ready for STEAM education? It's already here. Get with the times and help put your child on the map with the skills of tomorrow.
The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin will be conducting the 2025 Jamaica Survey of Living Conditions JSLC starting August 2025. For over 30 years, PIOJ analysis of JSLC data has helped to shape national policy, including on education, healthcare, and social support. When the JSLC team visits your home, participate. Your voice helps guide real solutions. For more information, visit statinja.gov.jm or WhatsApp Statin at 876-569-1083.
Are you ready for a trip down memory lane? You're in for a treat as I remember the days growing up in this beautiful rock that we call Jamaica.
Remember the days when people from the east side could go out on the west side and live in peace.
I was born and raised in a little district called Tangle River in St. James. So proud of Tangle River. The beauty about my halcyon days of the 70s is that I was exposed to so many different things that were creative. So we would use certain things that people would normally call trash, and we used that to be creative in such a way that we made gigs, boxes, trucks out of boxes, catapult, hopscotch. We would be creative in using perhaps the rotten banana trunk, and we call them tar. And we used to use the tar if we play hopscotch. We used to go to the bush, we go get whist, and we make skipping rope from that, or we use perhaps the elastic band from the inner cork or the buckle stopper, we used to call them, from the aerated water, we used to call them aerated water, but they were just bottled sodas. At that time, we never had inside kitchen. The outside kitchen that was made out of bamboo, wattle and daub. I hear I want come see all of that. And each kitchen had a dresser. The dresser where we wash, we put in pan, and we plate, we enamel plate, we knife, we fork, we cups, and we put it on the dresser. And there was a fireside. And so on that fireside is where, you know, the older folk would just put on the pot and you blow the fire. Sometimes smoke on your eyes until you're weak. No wonder I wear glasses in my older years. And then there were times when in that same kitchen, we used to smoke corn, the pig tripe, and put it on the kreng and smoke it. But then we used to, as children, we used to hide and use knife and cut off a piece and eat it. They were beautiful days. By 5 o'clock, you have a beard, and you have to rub Vaseline for your foot. The Vaseline them time, they don't like Vaseline today. You rub it for your foot. It shine like young gold. It was a wonder. You could actually look on your skin and you think it was a looking glass. During the holidays, when you gone a river, gone swim, we gone a bush, gone look guava, saucy apple. Saucy apple is what we call Otahiti apple back in St. James. Well, in my district, saucy apple, we go look mango, we go look banana, you name it, cane. So in the evenings when dinner ready now, and them said dinner ready, your belly full. And when we look into that, it was so many different items that we needed. Perhaps I'm getting a little teary-eyed because those were precious moments, and I value those moments. And I think those were the moments that made me into who I am today. There's one thing that I'd like to see happen in this great nation, or this great enterprise called Jamaica, is where we can come to a place where we are a little bit more loving toward each other. I grew up in a time when community parenting was the order of the day. We shared everything. We respected rules and we respected authority. We had good manners, good morning, excuse me, I'm sorry. Over time, we see that eroding. And I wish that we could come back to that place where we are grateful. We're grateful for the little things in life. We're grateful for the opportunities. We're grateful for even the small things that we have until better comes. I want to see us go back to a place where we can live loving in an environment that is conducive to good morals. I want to see this nation get back to a place where we protect our children, the women of this country, an environment that we can see things from perhaps different perspectives and we still get along, where community parenting will add value to the lives of our nation's children.
you a female 16 years of age or older? Ready to break into the world of cybersecurity? Join the She Secures Jamaica 2025 Cybersecurity Competition happening September 12 to 14. Test your skills in AI, web hacking, cryptography, and more. Registration now open. Visit shesecures-jamaica.hackrocks.com for more details. She Secures Jamaica, because cybersecurity needs you. Brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and the Organization of American States.
According to the Jamaica Public Service Company, the average cost of electricity is $65 per kilowatt hour. Now, the television, it's a comfort appliance for many households, but if left on for long periods, it can quietly drive up your electricity bill. A 35-inch LCD LED TV used for 12 hours a day consumes about 29 kilowatt hours. That's roughly $1,885 per month. A 35-inch plasma TV used the same way eats up 66 kilowatt hours monthly, costing you about $3,960. And for those bigger screens, a 50-inch LCD LED TV on for 12 hours daily costs around $3,510 per month. But a 50-inch plasma TV, that'll burn through 108 kilowatt hours, costing a whopping $7,020 per month just to keep it on. For our energy tip, turn off your TV when not in use and consider switching to energy-efficient models like LED TVs. Every hour saved adds up on your bill.
Children do suffer from anxiety in varying kinds and at all ages. Children from say 2 years old to about 8, you'd usually see things like separation anxiety. So they're supposed to go to school, they don't want to be separated. You'll find situations where children tend to be very quiet or they're crying a lot. And also they complain of physical symptoms, stomach ache, headache, but there's no medical cause for it. For older children, so 9 up to about 8, 16, you'll find that those particular children tend to have seclusion, they don't want to be around anybody, not much interaction, and you see falling in grades as well. Usually, as parents, we tend to wait until our children achieve something. But we can do that before, so encourage them. In the airplane, they say, put on your mask first before you help anybody else. So that's one thing. Secondly, if you find that you're getting overly upset with your child, take the time out and walk out of the situation, 5-10 minutes, cool off, and come back and address the situation. They're going to be watching you. So set the example. How do you communicate? How do you express yourself? What do you share with people, with your children as well? Those are some important things to look at.
We're at the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. You may visit our website, jis.gov.jm, to rewatch this show or to catch up on the others we have on the site. I'm Adrian Atkinson, telling you thank you for watching. And from our production team here at the JIS, pleasant viewing.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.